What's going on, blurs, nerds, and everybody in between? It's your boy Wyatt, the sensei of the Syndicate, here with another episode of With the BS. And today I got the Husky Hokage himself, one third of Things People Don't Say podcast, one half of the Victory Road, the gaming podcast.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so how you doing? How you living, bro?
I'm doing okay, man. Just been a long day, little bit of long week so far, but always good. Number good thing. So, how about
Man,
yourself?
man, I can't complain too much. I had a pretty easy day today. I've been sneaking off playing Marvel Midnight Suns. So I
So,
was
how is it?
I,
Go ahead.
so if you like
XCOM. I
XCOM,
know it's
yeah,
it's about the same guys that made it. It's the
yeah.
people that
If you
made
like it,
XCOM 1 and 2.
it plays like XCOM meets Persona. And I say that like you have stuff that you could be able to do that will enhance your friendships with other like superheroes, and the higher the superheroes, the better combos and stuff like that you can do. So,
That's
um,
awesome.
Dub, what's going on, man?
Okay, now I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Now
The
I'm
Toad
good.
Taster himself, the other half of the Victory Road, the gaming podcast. Uh, how you doing, man?
Man, bless, man. Can't complain. Can't complain.
Man, since the last time we had you on, you had a birthday, didn't you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I
Oh,
turned
okay.
21 again.
Yeah. So you can finally drink legally if you wanted to,
Yeah,
but you don't.
yeah, man. Yeah.
So, well, happy belated birthday, bro. And you also had a Founder's Day too,
Yeah, man. Had a lot of stuff going on,
man.
man.
Woo, you ain't get no sleep. I know.
Nah, nah, man. No sleep at all.
Well, how you living though? Everything else going all right with you?
Everything good, man. Everything good.
Cool. So today, fellas, we are talking about the pretty much all of Marvel Phase 4 movies. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about kind of what you like, what you didn't like, those kinds of things. What got your goat, so to speak? What things did you really like? If there was any movies like and overall kind of how everything was. Um so first of all, like my main thing is, how did you guys feel about Phase 4? That started with um essentially what was it? The first movie was Black
Black
Widow.
Widow. Yeah, Black Widow.
Yeah. How'd you feel about it?
Hold on. Before I speak, let me pull up a list real quick to make sure I'm looking at the right. Make sure I'm not getting my movies mixed up because
Okay.
just had a birthday, so my mind
You know, it's all
kind
right,
of
man.
kind of off. So are we just
So,
doing movies, or are we doing shows too?
So next week is the show. So we're gonna just
Okay.
do movies this week. And so we just like I went ahead and got fancy with it. Let me go ahead and pull it up here for us. Uh it is we got a tier list, guys. First it was Black Widow, then it was the Eternals, then Shang-Chi, then I believe it was Spider-Man, then Doctor Strange, then
Hmm.
mhm.
Thor, then finally Wakanda Forever.
Okay. All
So
right.
So
you want to go first? Or you me go?
well,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay.
Before we do that, I wanted to ask y'all, how'd you guys feel overall about like Phase 4, like coming off of all the stuff that they had with in-game event like Infinity War. Like, how did it hit you first?
I feel like Phase 4 is kind of cool, and by cool I mean it was just like it's hard to follow up with an Avengers movie that had all the Avengers after they quote unquote got blipped out.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still kind of building up your next big bad, which is basically kind of like almost starting over. Because like you remember with the Avengers, you had to build up the team getting together, and even then, like I said, they didn't. You still had to build up so much stuff before you eventually got to Thanos. So I think for what they had, I think they did pretty okay. I don't. I'm not. I wasn't disappointed. Granted, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't take too much to please me either. I will say that because sometimes I go back and look at movies I thought were kind of great, and I'm like, dog, it only did that. It's only so
Hmm.
you gotta take what I say with a grain of salt, because like I might point out some stuff that was necessarily terrible, and I still might like it.
Oh, I take it with a grain of sugar because you be giving them the benefit of the doubt. So
Yeah, yeah. So like I'm trying to think of something like that was terrible that folks said I was terrible. I was like, that's pretty straight.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also you think outside of a Marvel movie or just in general?
I feel like something recently dropped. Everybody said it was terrible, and I watched. And I was like, that wasn't too bad. I can't think of
Uh,
what it was. It wasn't Venom 2. I forgot what it was. Some
what
drop.
Morbius was
It
it
Morbius?
wasn't
Morbius?
Morbius. It wasn't
Uh,
Morbius. I haven't even seen Morbius, so I know it wasn't Morbius. It was something. Maybe it was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna remember. But but it was something that dropped. Everybody was like, it was terrible. I'm like, yeah, it wasn't that bad to me, because
Maybe
I didn't
Thor.
go in with it.
Thor:
I
Love and
like
Thunder.
I like Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay. All
It
right.
was
Well, we
some. I guess because I just didn't have no expectation, so it was straight.
okay. Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get you guys' opinion on one, and then like we'll just talk about it, see where you guys place it, and see from there. Um, so when you guys first think of, we'll start in order. So it doesn't let me move it around, but we'll do. Oh, it does. Okay, so Black Widow. How'd you guys feel about it?
It's okay.
you can, okay. I'm not gonna call it complete trash. I put it in. I would put it in. For me, it'd be a meh. And the only reason I say that is because like Black overall, it was a solid action movie. I didn't like some of the things they did with the Taskmaster as far as changing uh, like how the Taskmaster powers was a little bit like it
Mm-hmm.
was. But the biggest thing or the biggest critique for me was it wasn't mostly the movie's fault or whatever. It was when the movie came out. Had this movie been dropped before, even before it had this movie come out before Endgame, it would have been it would have been so much better had this movie came
Agreed.
out
Agreed.
before Endgame. And with it coming out after Endgame, it was just mad because everything that happened in that movie outside. Now, granted, it did introduce us to we got to see Red Guardian and Yelena or whatever, but it didn't do much of anything else. It introduced a few characters or whatever, Taskmaster and Red Guardian, those and Yelena, but that's it. Everything like the high stakes and all that other stuff that was in the movie, you knew Black Widow was going to be okay because she had to go on to the next movie. Like it was just when the movie came out. That was my biggest critique of that movie. It came out at the wrong time.
Wait, it came on way too late. Like if they probably did it when they were like doing Iron Man and shit like that, it probably been a lot better movie. But like you
It's
said, like and then you ultimately knowing her fate in Endgame is like it doesn't matter if this bitch die here because she gonna die in Endgame. You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah.
kind of like
She not
you
gonna
really
die
don't.
because she got to die later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like you really don't care. Like that's why I kind of hate. I don't want to say hate, but that's why I really don't care too much for prequels because it's like it takes the suspense out of certain stuff unless you like really exploring the backstory or like an antagonist. You really don't care too much about the protagonist because you know, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna happen to him. Like Metal Gear Solid, for instance, you know the boss loses his eye somewhere, so it's not a shock value when he loses his eye. You know what I'm saying? Stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. It doesn't have shock value.
Well, we got two other people here. We got the left and the right hand of the syndicate. So what's going on, KB and Sir of the 2020 Podcast LLC? If you don't do nothing else, please say the LLC. How y'all doing today?
We good. I got a bone to pick with that. Like, we not saying please no more. Damn it. Say the LLC. Say it.
Oh
And
wow.
we not saying please no more. We not asking. We telling.
Well, for 2023, we ain't saying please no more. That is. But yeah, man, I'm good, bro. Sorry for tiptoeing in church late. I was eating a sandwich, and like on my sandwich, I had put the potato chips on there, so
Mm,
I was enjoying my sandwich and lost track of time. So
uh,
yeah, but I'm here though.
what kind of chips were they on the sandwich?
Oh, it was plain ruffled potato chips. Hmm
Okay.
Mhm.
Random
I can
question.
taste it. I can taste the sandwich.
See,
Random question of the day. What is your favorite potato chip?
sour cream and cheddar.
Sour cream and cheddar.
Salt and vinegar, probably.
Sour cream
Mm.
and cheddar.
I got ooh that sea salt and vinegar do be hitting though.
You do. I ain't
I'm,
even
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with
especially when
the
it's kettle cooked.
yes. That's when it got
Yeah,
nigga.
yeah, it does.
Because then after that you got a whole nother layer. Oh,
Hmm.
when you said that, I'm gonna go with Marcus. I'm gonna go the sea salt and vinegar. But like sour cream and cheddar is right up there too. So
It is. It is.
I can't do the chips on a sandwich thing. That texture change, like it's like harassment. I can't do it.
I
don't
understand.
you
It's a
have the
lot going
chips with
on.
the sandwich though?
So if it's on the side, it's different, right? Because I eat the sandwich first and then I go to the chips. And so the texture change there is not happening all at one time.
Oh,
But when you
yeah.
put the chip on the sandwich, it's like, no,
Hmm.
it's too
It's
much
like
going on.
walking on a paper bag.
Yeah,
That's
and
how I
I
like
the
it.
sound, I don't like it.
I fuck with it.
I hate it.
Yeah, all of that. Give it to me.
So
I want to let Dub know that his new nickname sounds like cannibalism, and I don't like it.
I won't even say
oh,
nothing.
It's like a sample platter for toes, and it's just not.
You gotta be out. You gotta have them laid out in people's favorite one. You got the big toe here. Then you got the pinky toe over there.
mm, mm.
Party foul.
It's a delicacy. That's what it is.
Cannibalism.
Mm.
Call it what you want. It's a delicacy,
I'm gonna call it how I
regardless.
feel. Absolutely.
Mm.
I was saving this just for you, so I'm glad you came when you did.
I got a question though. Like, okay, finna go down a dark path. So, like, do you have like prerequisites when it comes to toes? Like, of course, the nails got to be trimmed and cleaned and all that. But like,
Mhm.
is there like a certain type of toenail polish you just don't do for obvious reasons, or is there like,
If they coated, they goaded in my opinion.
oh
What
wow,
should be the
They
obvious? You
coated,
know what? Don't answer that.
if they coated, they goaded.
Oh,
Which means they voted. Right.
uh,
respect,
this
bro.
went totally different than what I was expecting.
My bad.
Hey, I gotta
uh,
bring him to the safe word one day so we can have a conversation, bro.
Hey,
oh,
bro, just let me know when, man. Just let me know when.
Go.
I no, but
Back to the
I know
conversation.
I just said I know no I know I said that I was done with the conversation, but I'm not. I made you I made you a logo, like I showed you this one before, but I just want everybody else to see what your new logo is.
Mm.
So so there it is. That's all for you, bud.
Let's go.
I appreciate it. I need
So
it.
if you want, we could put it on a shirt, and then after that, we could be able to have it as the foot fondler uh, on the blursyndicate.com. Uh,
Foot fondler
Hey,
collection, bro. That's,
yeah,
hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey,
20
put on the
percent
purple and
off
gold shirt.
with the
Put on purple and
promo
gold
code
shirt. I'm wearing
purple
it
and
to a
gold.
tailgate.
Ain't nothing but a thing. Uh, just put it on the shirt, and then after that, the promo code is fondler or just feet. You just want feet, feet. Yeah, let's just
not
make it
I,
do
feet.
just
yes,
feet.
I like feet.
Yeah, feet. So I'm sorry, KB. KB is like she's like I don't know what's happening here.
I'm
Uh,
stressed. I don't like this.
all right. So how do you guys so I got Marcus, I got Dub, KB, sir. How do you guys feel about the Black Widow? Where do you think it is? Goat, good, okay, meh, or trash?
For what it was, for what we all knew it was supposed to be, I'm gonna put it in okay because they all admitted there was a timing issue with everything going on and how it came out. I'm going to stand on my stance that I think it should have been a series, like a little 6 episode thing, and not a movie. I just don't agree with. There are much better women characters if you want to give women a superhero movie, right? It didn't have like I get it because she's one of the originals for the MCU lineup. Like I get it, but Black Widow to me is just not interesting enough for her to have had this movie.
I agree.
It should have been a series. I love the addition of Yelena. I love that they changed her background from what she actually is in the comic because they really gave depth to a character that didn't have a whole lot of it. So I'm okay with like her introduction. The Red Guardian is hilarious, but
Hmm.
all in all, it's just an okay movie. And had they done it, turned it into a series, and done it that way, I think it would have moved it up.
I agree. Um, sir, what do you feel? How do you feel about it?
I'm gonna also agree. I think it was okay. It was run of the mill standard um first movie of a trilogy vibe. You know what I'm saying? It didn't dwell too long on her past. Well, yeah, it did. I ain't even gonna tell that lie. It did dwell too long on her past, but the fight scenes was like hella dope, yo. Like that fight on the bridge with Taskmaster. I ain't even finna hold you.
Mm.
One of
Even
my
though it was a
favorite
car
fights
chase,
of this phase, bro. I ain't even finna cap with you.
wasn't it you
Um,
just was like you over the whole car like chase
Hmm.
type?
no, I'm not talking about the car chase part. I'm talking strictly the hand to hand fight that happened when
Right,
she
but that
first
was
came across.
still like a semi car thing. That's why I was like, for it being what it was, like, no, and you're right. It is to me, it is one of the better fights, especially among like Phase Four. It's
Yeah,
definitely one of the better choreographed fights there. But I was just like, it was interesting that you enjoyed it because it was part of like she literally like wrecked the car. So
right.
that's why I was like, that's funny. I wasn't judging. I was amused. I like it.
And what else? I enjoyed the whole Call of Duty esque escape scene from the prison. I thought that was pretty cool. It took me back to it was very much giving Modern Warfare 2, the old Modern Warfare 2. Though gamers will remember. Uh the dialogue between Alexei, Yelena, and Natasha was always great. It was very shallow, but it was funny. It was very sitcom, and I'm with you, KB. I think this would have benefited from a 6 part um series versus being a movie. That way we could have got more of Yelena and that strained relationship. More of what it'd been like to be in America and try to pose as a family, and then you could ultimately see what exactly went left where they had to leave. Like that, I thought that would have been, pretty dope. Um, yeah, but I'm not gonna say it was meh or trash because I definitely watched it twice. So yeah, I think it was okay. I think it was okay overall. Although I hate what they did to Taskmaster, but I thought it was cool.
I
So
hated
y'all
that too.
y'all changed me from a meh to an, because like you guys brought up some good points to make it
They
okay.
did. They did.
Uh, because like I definitely thought it was meh at first. You know, like, but kind of going over the movie again after you guys kind of said that they did have some good points. Um, I do think that Phase Four, like, okay, so when I think about Phase Four, I think about like if you're a wrestling fan and they have like a really, really good match, and then the next match follows it, and everybody's out of breath, like they're wore out from cheering from the good match. This is
Mhm.
what Phase Four was like. Like even though you could have a really good, series or a really good show from there, you like everybody was worn out because you had just gotten what you had been looking for what 12 years, and now you got it. But then after that, you're like, okay, what are they going to do now? And
Mhm.
then, especially since you knew that certain people weren't coming back, at least not anytime soon, and so it was a lot. But um, I think the timing, first of all, made me upset, and then how they did Taskmaster. But like I mean, I feel like it is what it is in that situation. The timing was really what threw me off too. It's like we know that she's not going to die. Even though we know in movies, the main character usually doesn't die. We still have like that little bit of what's going to happen. But in that one, we like, oh, we know that she's not going to have anything really bad happen to her because she was in Infinity War and she was in
Mhm.
Endgame. So, um, it is what it is in that one. I just think, I just think that it was mm, I just think that the timing threw me off a little bit. So The next one is Eternals. How'd you guys feel about that one?
Meh.
Man,
Mm.
I'm
man.
gonna say it was. I'm gonna say that if any show um benefited from, did I just unclick it? Oh well. Uh,
That was me. My bad. I hit the wrong button.
see you over here, man. Look at
My
this.
bad.
It- uh, so if there's anybody or if there's any movie that deserve to have like a mini like series as far as this one's concerned, and that would have benefited the most for it was the Eternals. I think there was a lot of different stories, especially going throughout time, that could have been able to benefit. I still thought that there was a lot of meat on the bone when it came to that. um I
It
don't
is.
want to say it was good, but I do want to say that it was okay. So
I'm with you on that. I mean, me personally, I probably would even put it in the good because some of the little stuff we got in the movie. Um, I
Blade.
love even not even Blade, just like the you had like Festos, just how cool of a character he was. Speaking of like I can't think of his name. The can't think of the guy's name. The one that he would that kind of separated from everybody and had his own little village or whatever.
Druid.
Druid, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I like how Druid was, and
Mm-hmm.
like I love how
Gilgamesh was
they,
my guy.
yeah, Gilgamesh
Mm-hmm.
was dope. Like how they, how Drew had that conflict of like, I want to step in, I want to help. Like, why we keep, it's like every time we do some or don't do something, like they still do this. Like I wanted, like he wanted to help, he wanted to interfere. Like that conflict they had of like whether to interfere, whether to not interfere, and then I guess to say the twist or the plot where you like she know like Selma Hayek's character knew and basically knew the entire time what was going on, who they really were, um, the I guess the last kind of fight scene. I can't think of the speedster's name, but like how she would like how they were all trying to take down
oh
Icarus,
buddy,
or
yeah.
how they were trying to defeat Icarus or whatever the case may be. Like that was a nice little fight scene. It wasn't the greatest, but it was a nice little fight scene. I like that. Like like the Fest was using his stuff. Like you had her the speed, so she was coming through throwing the blows. But I thought it was overall. I thought it was a good movie. But I'll settle for it being put in okay instead of meh. But for me, it was a good movie. And like I said, it's
Man,
still
stand on that shit there. Say it was a good movie. Say
I-
say it was a good movie.
it was a good movie.
There
It
you
was a
go.
good movie.
Say it with your chest. With the BS here.
It was a
So
good movie. The only thing I say is the only thing my is we still haven't got real acknowledgement of the fact that we got a whole Titan. I mean, Celestial
Celestial
sticking
hanging
out
out
of
the
the
earth.
earth.
That I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that you got this fat ass Celestial, like just chilling. Like, bro, he's cracking the atmosphere. That has to be an issue with the planet. Like, so oxygen has to be leaving. If global warming wasn't real, it's real now. You know what I'm saying? And I think even more so than Black Widow, this could have benefited from it being a series because you had
I
so
agree.
many characters to flesh out. Because I mean, it was like six of them, and then all of them all did their own different things.
yeah,
Like, so it just kind of seemed like I don't like, and the reason I say it was me because I don't think it was a bad plot. I just feel like the storyline was rushed, and I feel like
yeah,
that's a problem with a lot of
Yeah,
movies nowadays. It feels rushed.
they tried
man.
to
Because
put
they had to cover like from the start of civilization till now. You know what I mean? And you can't really cover all that. And like, even though the movie was longer, you still couldn't cover all of that in that same situation, especially because it's like the first movie. So now, usually with the first movie, you have to flesh out one character and their whole thing. You got six of them. You know, it's a whole team.
And
Mhm.
So
still world build.
yeah, it's a huge world build that you just didn't have time to do.
And that's why I said it was meh, because I feel like they mismanaged the entire script and build of this. Because I know that it was supposed to be like an origin movie, but because they had so much going on, it literally felt like the second part in a three-part series, and you didn't give us enough like background, but you really didn't give us enough like substance going on. It really just felt thrown together. Marcus is gonna say it's a good movie, and that's fine. You can say it with your chest. I'm gonna deflate that a little bit. It's a very meh movie.
To
And
you, lady. To you, ma'am. Say to you. No, I'm playing. No, but I mean, like I said, it's what it is.
that's really my beef with it. Is like
Yeah.
you got all these characters, right? And they all have, for the most part, the same powers, right? Had you made this a series, and 6 episodes wouldn't have been enough. Like this would have been one
You'd
of
have needed
those
like
like
12.
probably
10, 12.
10 to 11 type deals where you could have fleshed out, you could have taken 2 characters like per episode and kind of
Episode.
fleshed them out, and then turned around by the time you got to episode 5, then giving us. So this is another one where it was like, y'all really just threw this in here just to throw this in here, and I'm mad about it because it wasn't good. Also, justice for Gilgamesh, because the way they handled my boy was some BS. And
It
justice for Thena
was.
too, while we at it. She didn't deserve that. She was out here like
Uh,
strong arming shit and being the fucking Great Wall of China on her own.
I'm not gonna lie. I
Then
definitely
y'all gonna turn
sacrificed
around
some of
and
the
nuke
other
her like
ones. I definitely sacrificed some ones that made it for some of the ones that didn't. I will say
bro.
Yeah.
that.
The disrespect. And then Icarus is
Icarus on that whole shit.
Sprite
right,
too.
like
He
face
was.
Sprite.
that shit
Let's
like
talk
a
about Sprite
man.
real quick,
bro.
because that was just so weird that she was younger, but then after that she was like, "I want this grown, man," and
You talking about Sprite?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So that didn't really surprise me because that's kind of similar. I don't know if y'all ever watched like some of the old Anne Rice type, like the books and the movies, but every once in a while there's like this really young vampire type character that can't grow any older, but has like grown adult feelings and cannot do anything about it because they look like a child. And Sprite was kind of like that, where it's like, okay, I look like a child, but I am an adult, and the people that I'm interested in are not interested in me because I am a child. I need to be older. I need to like grow and do these things because she was in love with Icarus.
it's not that weird. And it's not that I don't want to say it's not that weird. Like there's parallels, especially if you watch anime, because there's always some little girl trying to like get at
Be
a
older.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
bad.
and like I said, because of the way you did your story, that did not get any time to have any real impact beyond just being off and weird.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had done it as a little mini series, we could have explored that. Then it would have made more sense. As opposed to, oh snap, you've been in love with this dude? How? Y'all ain't spent no time with each other. Like, it's weird.
Breadcrumbs. If you would have had breadcrumbs that went through it, where she was like always trying to get paired up with him, or she was trying to do stuff like that. I get what you're saying. I still don't think it's meh though. I think you're just being a little harsh on it
No,
because
it's man.
if you can give Black Widow an okay, then
No, because these are
Eternals are
two
not a
separate
meh.
things. Black Widow didn't have the amount of characters that deserved more time in the same way that the Eternals did. That's why they're two different levels for me.
Okay.
Because with Black Widow, you had just enough characters to where everybody really got the pieces that they needed. It's just that Black Widow's story as a whole would have been better off as a series as opposed to a movie because you didn't delve enough into who she was for this film to be like worth it to me. Whereas with the Eternals, you have so much going on that it should have been a series. Instead, everybody kind of got shafted here because nobody really got time to shine properly. So
Okay.
it made the collective feel very meh.
All right, sir. You are essentially like the tiebreaker.
I'm gonna say it was a good film. It was just plagued by, like we said, rushed development, but I still think the what we did get. I'm not gonna grade it by what we didn't get. I'm gonna grade it by what we did get. We got awesome ass who done it with a major twist. With yeah, with Icarus being the one trying to assemble the team, and at the same time trying to cover his tracks. That's really hard to write from the narrative point where we're following Icarus this whole movie.
Yeah.
We got his relationship with Cersei. We got his relationship with Sprite. We got the relationship of Druig along with Makari. That's a name, by the way. Husky Hokage Makari.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's
I'm
it. Yeah.
horrible with names, by the way. I'd be like just describing what they do. I'd be like, that person that was like the fast person,
bro,
or the
they
person.
either are a god or a planet. That's
Yeah.
the best way to remind yourself of it.
You know what? Actually, I will say is I will move it from Mensa, okay? Only because I forgot with Makari, her being deaf, I
Yes.
really did like again the representation of how they handled her character.
Mhm,
That did move it up. And then what's his name? Festo.
mhm,
Like
mhm.
Mhm.
I like
That's
him. Yeah, I
That's
did like him.
see
Um, I
his
feel like
dealing with
that twist was ass to me, and maybe it's just because I saw it coming and was not the least bit like, oh, I was like, you raggedy bitch, I knew you had something to do with this. And I was just mad. So
but it's just all the small bits I got that I felt for these beings. Like Festus really feeling like this whole time he was just trying to advance. And the one time he allowed us the chance to do so, he saw and was just devastated by what we was able to do, bro. Druid, just like you said, just wanted to allow people to have free will and do what they wanted, but he also was frustrated with his duty, bro. It was just, I don't know. It spoke to me, bro. And also with Fina, with having a family member who, suffered with Alzheimer, like seeing Gilgamesh take care of her
Mhm.
kind of struck a chord with me because I had to kind of look after my great grandmother during that period. And I know what it's like to talk to somebody who doesn't necessarily remember you, you
Yeah.
know. Um yeah, he did die in a fucked up way. I wanted him to keep going. But overall, I enjoyed it, man. I even recommended this film to people who enjoyed like, you know, folk tales and pop culture of back then and Greek mythology. If you were more into that as a kid, like I pushed this film to people.
Cool. Um, yeah, I thought it was good to okay. Like I said, I just think that it just needed to be on like Disney Plus, but I also understood that at the time Disney Plus wasn't Disney Plus, like we knew it.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so then after that, like they were afraid to really push that out there because like I think they only had like maybe one or two. By this time, I think maybe Loki was out, maybe. So like they didn't really have a whole lot of stuff out there on Disney Plus like they did before.
Mhm.
Now I think if anything, I think they should transition that to like a Disney Plus show. But yeah, that's how I felt about it.
Definitely
So
should have been a show.
so we'll
Definitely.
we'll we'll leave it at good. Uh, I want to hear from Sir because Sir, you really I think really enjoyed Shang Chi. So where would you put it?
Um, I'm gonna say it's the goat of Phase 4.
Mm,
Uh, they created a villain that was teased long ago, and when you finally found out why he's a villain, I felt that. I don't I don't think the Mandarin was wrong. He was just grieving, bro. Like I think all of us have had this conversation about him and why I was saddened that he died. He was just misguided by somebody manipulating his emotions, bro. Like,
Yeah.
man. And he was busting ass all through China through all these years, bro. Like he was fucking people up. What was that, like a little poker bar where he started murdering niggas
yeah.
in front of his son?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It was
then
something like one of those plays. I know I can't think of exactly what they're called, but yeah. Yeah.
right. And what else was it? When they found Shang-Chi at the little fight area, whatever, and they went outside and Shang-Chi just outright just started killing niggas, like kicking them off the building and shit. Man, look, I was sold at that point. I was like, I'm Let's go. I
Yeah.
hadn't seen like it's always good to see another culture, but to get that martial arts, Dragon Ball Z factor was always pretty good, bro. I loved it. It made me go back and buy all the Shang-Chi comics for this current run.
Well, it was dope. Marcus, how'd you feel about it?
I'm so I don't know if I can call it the GOAT, but it's definitely good. I love it. Has some of the best fight scenes in Phase Four. Like to me, um, I love the I love the fact that we got like a Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li type character in Shang-Chi. Like we actually got somebody who actually does martial arts. Like not like what we got with Iron Fist. Like we got an actual somebody who can whoop ass. And
Mhm.
coming from a kid who grew up watching old kung fu movies and Bruce Lee movies, like it was awesome. I really love this movie. It was really good. Um, I, I'm I'm teetering on maybe being I'm teetering on the line of GOAT, but it definitely was good. Definitely in a good category, man.
KB.
It's gonna go in GOAT for me. I thought that cinematically it is a beautiful movie. The fight scenes were amazing, especially the bus scene.
Mhm.
I do like that we really did get justice for the Mandarin because that had me heated for Iron Man 3.
Uh,
I did like the element of basically this man just grieving and thinking that he was saving his wife this whole time.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I really loved that. Why are you arguing with me? Did you not like the movie? You didn't even watch it. Hush. Thanos. So, but yeah, to me, it's definitely GOAT. Like it is not the number one GOAT of Phase Four, but it's definitely in GOAT status for me.
So I think it was the goat of the phase. Just because like I think there's a lot of relatability to it. I didn't think that it was carried by like CGI. I think it was carried by like actual action that took place. I like the fact that the dude from a Creed 2, Drago was what was his name? Whatever.
Uh,
Yeah.
knife
Yeah,
hand,
knife hand or laser,
laser,
whatever.
laser,
Yeah.
laser hand, whatever, laser
Uh,
fist. Yeah,
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 so whatever his name was, I like that. Like you could really
yeah.
get behind the fact that, like you said, he got mad at the person that pretended to be the Mandarin. He got his revenge for that part where he made him the little clown. He made it, he was just grieving, man. And like and even in that whole part, you got to see a whole lot of stuff that took effect. And like the cause and effect that came along with it. Even with the point of like his sister being the new Mandarin, you know what I mean, they're taking over the 10 rings, those kinds of things. That was to me where she didn't get to be seen, so then she made a spot at the table for herself. And
Mhm.
so like even at that point where you see them fighting, and the Mandarin versus Shang-Chi, and he's making his dad remember his mom by the way that they have like how they fight. Like that was just it was beautiful to me. I really enjoyed it. So 2 out of 3, 3 out of the 4, we can put it in GOAT status. What about Spider-Man No Way Home? Who wants to take that one?
I thought it was good. Um, there were certain scenes that I felt went a little long. It definitely had its scenes where it captured you, but some of the scenes like dragged a little bit, especially with him being at school and dealing with being outed as a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of the dialogue between him, Ned, and like Flash didn't like carry my attention. I was just like, okay, so when we gonna get back to the Green Goblin? So when we gonna get back to the Green Goblin? So when we gonna get like uh
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of the problem when you have so many villains too, that you'll get these one or two that you were just hyper focused on. And I think the film suffered a little bit from that. Like the lizard is the lizard, bro. Like back in Spider-Man the animated series, the lizard was one of my favorite villains he had to deal with because it was his
Yeah.
boy Kurt. You know what I'm saying? That was like his version of Toothface he had to deal with. And we didn't get any of that interaction, and I really hated that. Um, yeah, so it was just another movie that had so much. And hot take, real quick, I think it would have benefited more by being a show.
Mm,
Give it like six or seven episodes. I think it would have done better.
okay.
I disagree with that take only because I have another hot take.
Okay.
I think it would have been better if we had not gotten the other Spider-Man.
Hmm. Hmm.
If we had gotten the villains pulled in and the confusion of you're not my Peter Parker, but you're a Peter Parker, therefore you gotta die type of deal, I think that would have been better. And he really just stole all my stuff off my bed. The disrespect. Sorry. Like I had him outside, but he started crying, so I brought him in. And now he's throwing my things off my bed. But the fact that you keep teasing the Sinister Six and yet I have not actually gotten a true Sinister Six film is pissing me off to no end.
Mhm.
But I just feel like, to your point, the movie as it is, yes, I think it is another one that would have benefited from being a show. But had you just given us the one Peter, I think it would have been better. I love the nostalgia. It's cute. It's a great moment, especially since MJ was throwing bread at Peter 3. Like, that's hilarious. But had you given us one Peter and all the villains, I think it would have made for a much better film, story wise.
Marcus, what you got?
I think it was a good movie. Um,
Oh, yeah, I'm putting it good. My bad. I forgot about that.
I think it was a good movie. I someone like said I wanted some more from some of the villains, like you. I like what they kind of like what they did with Doc Ock. But like the star of the show was clearly the Green Goblin. Like we like him when he showed up on screen. That was kind of it. Um, I like what I kind of get what KB said about it being only Peter, but but I'm a sucker for some nostalgia, and this nostalgia I'm a sucker for, and it's the simple fact because my boy Andrew Garfield is still my favorite Spider-Man, and the fact that he got a little bit of some type of redemption, a little bit, and I love it for that. Um, but overall, man, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. It had some had its bumps and bruises, but overall, it's a good movie.
I think the how much everybody was expecting the three Spider-Man and they were trying to play it off like they weren't there ended
Yeah,
up kind of killing some of the vibe because everybody was waiting for the three Spider-Men to show up and they didn't show up until like the final act, which is cool, but like I think everybody knew that they were coming, so like they could have kind of gotten it out the way, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I think that's the part that kind of killed some of it. I think that it suffered from kind of the same thing that Endgame suffered from, where everybody knew that they were all going to get together at one point and have all these people fight these bad guys. And then even in the final trailers where they were trying to hide people, they're like, bruh, come on. Like in Brazil, they showed this Spider-Man, but they didn't in this one. So it was one of those things where I think they kind of put all their eggs in one basket that's saying, okay, we can have like not necessarily a subpar um one like when it comes to the storyline, but it was just okay, and then just be like we're gonna just kind of rest on the fact that we have graphics and we have all three Spider-Men from three generations. So it's like in between good and okay. I'll put it in good too, just because of the fact that it was just a lot. Like you were glad to see that, and I wanted to see Andrew Garfield get some love like he was supposed to get, because it wasn't his fault that they made Electro like that.
Yo, let me ask you this. hot take, because I didn't care for Far From Home.
Hmm.
They should have saved Mysterio for this film.
Ooh.
Shit would have made way more sense if
Hmm.
Mysterio was in this fucking movie.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So I like the idea, love the idea. Who would you have replaced him with in Far From Home though?
Chameleon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Either
Ah,
either
I
chameleon or scorpion.
I probably would have went maybe two, maybe Chameleon and Scorpion, maybe a little bit because that way, because I think Chameleon by itself. Now in the comics or in the show, he was a little bit, but on for a movie screen, I would have wanted somebody else besides just Chameleon. But I do like the idea of having Chameleon because he definitely could have followed Peter or whatever to find out who he was, and it could have help reveal who he was or whatever case may be. But yeah, I like that idea though.
I was going through my mind, like, and I was like, well, we can't do Electro. And then I was like, we can't do Rhino because, well, we could do Rhino, but then after that, it would have been hard to kind of make Rhino look like Rhino.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I would have liked to see somebody like maybe Tombstone, um, somebody that could just beat the brakes off of him, uh, and and then after that, like him having to work on that. Um, like him and Tombstone, maybe I don't know who else, but it would have been something.
I would say,
Chameleon
uh,
or scorpion make the most sense if you're going keeping like the identity reveal the same.
Hmm.
Right.
Those two make the most sense, and then Mysterio would have just been hell.
Yeah.
So it absolutely, I agree with that. Like he should have been in this film. Now the other one yelling at me, the disrespect.
So, um, what the next one is? Doctor Strange and the what is it? The
Multiverse
Multiverse
of
of
Madness.
Madness. I'm gonna say it. I was disappointed. They made this one to seem like it was gonna be a horror movie, and I understand it's Disney, and so their horror is like
We got some
okay,
elements of horror.
yeah. But they got Sam Raimi, and they were supposed to do some work in this one. I understand. Hmm. And then they teased a lot of other multiverse stuff, and I think that it got me tired of seeing multiverse stuff. To be honest with you, because I felt like they weren't going to really dive into it. They weren't opening it up. They were just saying that just so that they could be able to get tickets. Like we're gonna tease these people because everybody wants, old buddy to be Reed Richards. Everybody wants, to see a good Black Adam. They didn't. It didn't really do it. It was an okay movie. It was an okay movie.
I disagree. To me, it is a little bit better than good, but not quite goat. And the reason being is you finally got to see an unhinged, almost unstoppable Scarlet Witch. And I've been wanting that since they first introduced her character. I did not expect it the way that they gave it to me, which is fine. I was really hoping for a true House of M type moment, but understanding why we couldn't get that, I'm okay with what they gave me in place of that. Um, Also, I really, really, really liked seeing grief unchecked and what that
Mm.
can do to a person. Because I feel like it really doesn't get talked about enough, especially when you look at like Peter, for instance. By all rights, Peter should have killed Goblin.
Mm.
If not for the other Peter stopping him, he would have. Would he have regretted it? Probably.
I
More than
don't know.
likely.
I don't know. You take my aunt out, which is like my mom. I'm
Right.
not. I'm not gonna regret nothing. I
Right.
regret.
But
I
Mm.
regret nothing.
but instead they gave him that they pulled him back from that brink, right?
Right.
And if you look at what they did with other characters who were grieving, they really pulled those characters for the most part back from doing really unthinkable things. But they let Wanda go ballistic, and I was here for it.
Well, Wanda been going ballistic since WandaVision. Like
Right,
she.
but that's what I'm saying. You saw the trajectory of this coming though, and that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. I loved that we went from like Wanda wasn't even conscious of what she was doing until somebody was like, "Bro, do you realize that you have enslaved the whole town?" And she was like, "I didn't. Did I? Damn, I did. Do I want to let this go? I don't think I want to because it's giving me everything I want." But ultimately, they bring her back to right. She makes the right choice and she frees everyone and she tries to go off.
She got a hold of that dark hole. That's
And
what happened.
then they brought it back. And that's what I'm saying. With every other character, they brought them there and then they were like, reel it back in. We're gonna let the good guys be the good guys. But they said, nope, Wanda gets to be Wanda, and I'm here for it. I loved every second of it. Do I think there are things they could have done better? Absolutely. But for what they gave us, I think it's a good movie. Hi, hello. Do not lick my face. Get out of this. What black
Uh,
person?
I'm. Oh, go ahead.
oh my bad, bro. You go ahead.
I was just kind of. Well, I was gonna agree with KB. I thought it was a good movie. Um, Once again, all films, well, most of them have their bumps or whatever. But however, this was a good movie. I like the fact, like I said, we got Wanda, and you saw what Wanda could do if left unchecked. Like the way she took out the Illuminati or whatever. Like the way she took them out, she turned the man into spaghetti. Like so, I mean, I'm just saying, like you
Al
see,
dente. She threw him across.
exactly, exactly. Um, but I thought it was a good movie, man. Of course, it had its ups and downs or whatever, but like you got a little bit of they Sam Raimi comes with some fun stuff every now and again. Like he threw in like we had the zombie version of Doctor Strange, basically.
But that was just him incorporating his.
I know that.
You
I
know
know
what I mean?
that.
That's
Look, you take your wins, you take your small wins, you get
okay.
them, the
Okay.
small wins. So, but it was just funny that what I'm saying. You got introduced to which to just I ain't gonna say I never thought we'd see her. I didn't think we'd see her so soon, but like getting America Chavez on screen. Like I've known who America was for a minute. Like I like the run she had when she was with the Ultimates, Black
Mm-hmm.
Panther, Blue Marvel, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, and Galactus or whatever. They had a little run in the comics. Um, but and like I said, I think it's a good movie.
Yep.
And then
Sir.
also, Wanda has one of the coldest lines in the MCU right now. Like she's actually like probably my top four like favorite lines. Wanda is involved in three of them. That's crazy to me.
What's the other one?
So the first one is when she asked Reed if his kids still had a mother because she didn't want them to be orphans. Like she let him know, I'm about
She's
to
about
leave
to
you
take you
together,
out.
but I
Okay.
want your kids to still have a parent. That's to tell
No, I'm
somebody.
saying what's the other line that doesn't involve Wanda?
Oh, it's the one where Namor was like, "You're queen now. Bury your dead. I'll be back." Like, bro, that's wild.
But
Yeah.
he told him what they was gonna. Well, we'll talk about that later. But go ahead.
Yep.
I wasn't here for that
Um,
episode. Go ahead. Go ahead.
with this one, I have it either at the highest point of okay or at the lowest point of good. Um, the only reason I'm saying that is because I can literally see where Sam Raimi took over in the movie, and I've watched it. I've watched it about 3 times. I could literally see where he took over. Um, I did like Zombie Strange. I thought that was really cool. Seeing him do the little hand thing and spread out and using
Mhm.
that. I did like the mention of Cathone. America Chavez was pretty cool. Strange versus Strange, hard. When Wanda was stalking them niggas through the reflections in the Tamarkage, bro, that literally had me uneasy. And then I realized, nigga, I'm watching a Doctor Strange movie. Why am I uneasy? This ain't a horror movie. Like, but I felt like it executed that well. This was, and I agree with you, KB. I told me and my girl we left the theaters after watching it, and I said it feels like people heard folks who don't read comics say, "Damn, can she really fuck up Thanos?" And like the director was like, "Oh, you didn't know? Bet. All right, we got a whole movie for that."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
uh,
There was the argument of Daredevil versus Wanda, right? And I
Who?
was like, of course, if it's hand to hand, no powers, Daredevil's washing
we're
her.
gonna beat her face on.
However,
Well,
if
if he
you
she
have
doesn't if he doesn't
space
have powers,
between them, it's a wash. And it
And
was so
that's
weird to me. They
and I
was
think
like,
this.
okay,
Go
look,
ahead.
they was like, okay, put her in a hallway. He's gonna win in the hallway. Bro, all Wanda
Who
has to
said
say is
this?
what hallway?
Who said
Exactly.
this? What? 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 So now I know the whole because everybody was talking about the Wanda and well it's Kawana because it came out like Wanda could take out Thanos by herself if she really wanted to, and people like I remember that the whole thing. Oh no, she couldn't. Even Kevin Feige came out and was like Wanda could like it was an interview saying somebody asked him a question about it. He was like Wanda's probably the most powerful character in the MCU right now or something like that. He mentioned too, and like you saw it in Multiverse of Man. You saw her unhinged, like what she could do if she was really like
You
if she
saw it
really
in
wanted to let loose.
Endgame. You saw it in Endgame. That's why I never understood this conversation. Thanos literally had to call in people, blowing up his own people to get Wanda up off him. She was killing him. She was crushing
You
him
right.
like a soda
You right.
can.
get that thing on me, man.
man.
Get that thing on me.
He literally was like rain fire, and dude was like, "But our troops." And he was like, "Do it anyway."
He's like, get her off me. She is
Right.
whooping my ass right now. Please. And
So
thank you.
I really don't understand why that was a question beyond y'all just not wanting women to be strong.
Well, no, I think it's sometimes that they just don't understand.
If it's
Because like
coming
you
from
said,
non-comic book readers,
yeah,
I've learned. I have learned to, especially after watching Black Panther. Like I have learned to just let them have at it.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
it makes what they think or what they process or what they put out there makes no sense. And it's like, you know what? I ain't even, you got it. Whatever you want to think, you think. I'm not even about to go back and forth with you because I can tell you all the facts. I can show you the feats and all the other stuff that to prove what happened or whatever, and you still will come with don't worry about it. So I knew it was over when I saw it was a video. A lady made a video talking about Black Panther or whatever. Somebody in her comments, a lot of people were like, oh, "You can tell you don't read the comments," or "Oh, somebody doesn't read the comments." Something like that. And she came back and made another video after she Googled some random stuff, and she was like, "Well, it says in the comics here that Storm and Black Panther have a kid and such and such and such." And I'm like, they just let me know, like, you know what, y'all don't nobody respond to her because it makes no
Are you
sense.
talking about the lady that said that what you call it couldn't beat Namor because she's like 120 pounds soaking wet or something? I was like, bro, first and foremost, like, no.
Anybody that comes with that argument, I've always said, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the first movie. The second movie was okay, but Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is not that fucking small. Like Wonder Woman is an Amazon. Wonder Woman is supposed to be built up, and like
dick.
Gal exactly. Gal Gadot, whatever Gal Gadot, she did an awesome job as Wonder Woman. But her being that small, playing Wonder Woman, like it was like when she first got announced, like she's kind of small to be Wonder Woman. That's what I thought. But like I said, nevertheless, you give them a chance. But like I said, the fact that no matter how small Shuri is or whatever the case may be, she got the powers of the herb. So that all that argument was null and fucking void. So that's why because it just pissed me off. But look, I digress. We'll move on.
All right, this one's gonna probably be short.
Trash.
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 Marcus.
It was mad. Most I'm gonna give is a mad.
Drop it.
And the only reason I give it a mad because we got Mighty Thor. We had the Mighty Thor or whatever, but it was just too much. they went. So it's a line like right here, and you got the comedy, the action, and stuff like that. And it's okay if they stay in this line, but they went too far to the right with the comedy, and like the whole. One thing that took me out of it was funny at first, but it kept getting on my nerves. Like after so long, the damn the hollering rams or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was funny at first, like okay, but then it's just like bro,
You
okay,
do it one time and then that's it. Like it's like somebody going to the joke like all the time. Like how I said that one funny thing that one time, and
yeah.
then let me go. He reminds me of Mike Epps. I don't like it. That's those are the yes. I
Ooh,
just
I
don't
can
like
see
it.
that.
Definitely overrated.
Yes.
Sounds
So
like
Mike
art.
Mike Epps do that lottery joke, do that woman called
every
lottery song just about
mhm,
every comedy special he do just about.
every fucking time, bro. I keep telling y'all he's trash. I told y'all that on the with the BS ones.
I
I
don't think he
said he is
trash, but
trash,
you
trash,
know, I
trash of
get,
the
I get,
trashiest trash.
I get.
Um, I'm happy he found a way to tell the same three jokes and make a living out of it.
Yeah. And these niggas paying, boy.
Mhm.
Somebody somewhere like it.
So,
He be
so
funny
now
in movies. He's funny in some of his
no,
movies.
because he plays the same role. He plays the same role. I'm not giving him that out. I'm not giving him that out. Nope. Nope. Nope.
I don't know. I don't know. One of his funnier scenes is when he was when it was Welcome
Never.
Home, Roscoe Jenkins. I don't know that scene when he walking in the bathroom and Monique in the shower or whatever, and they do this things they go through. That's funny. Like he has his moments, But
Well,
I
I think
digress.
that
Go
I
ahead.
think that that situation is funny, but he wasn't.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. I give you that. I give you that. I can see that.
I think next Friday was probably his best work to
mhm,
me. That's one I'll laugh at
mhm,
because they tens, but I keep them clean though. That was funny as fuck to me because
mhm,
I know niggas like that.
mhm.
So, but
So before we do the last one, I want to show off some of the stuff that we have at the blurredsyndicate.com when it comes to the Wakanda Forever. We don't have a bald headed demon shirt yet. We
Oh
working
man,
on it though. The bald headed demon.
man,
Um,
what? Eat a
so,
carrot.
y'all ain't finna get me beat up.
so we got the Wakanda Mining Vibranium Express. Um, we got a dope ass one.
Hey,
KB,
I like them
I'm working on your Mbaku knees shirt, but you got to deal with the restaurant right now.
love it.
Love it. Yeah, I want that shirt. It's dope, bro.
In this one, and then we got the throwback, the melanated and militant, the Wakanda Forever. I'm sorry, I should really stop doing it with the accent.
You
It
can't
just
help it.
it just happens.
Can we? Well, we need I'm trying to think of like something with with Okoye saying without question. Like I just
Yeah.
I love it from the first one.
hmm And then finally we got a bunch of them here at the Blur Syndicate. Just go to theblurredsyndicate.com and then you can just use the promo code DND20. Get
And get all of
20%.
them
Get
and buy all of them.
all of them.
Buy all of them. It's Christmas. You know somebody that need a gift. Just get all the shirts.
I'm just saying, all the shirts are on sale, and also we have travel bags. We got everything.
We got aprons for when you cook,
Ooh,
bruh. And then we got the Black Panther aprons.
mm-hmm.
You know you want it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, let me try to make
Oh
you.
yeah. Just so y'all know, we got mouse pads, bit.
Yeah.
We got a little wrist right here. I put my wrist right there all the time. So when
There
I'm
you go.
scrolling through porn, gotta have wrist support.
Well, there we go. So, it gives you great wrist protection during extracurricular activities, whether that be,
Porn.
Trying to find that one scene.
yeah, whether it be with others, by yourself, with your hands, with your feet, all of that doesn't matter.
However your porn.
Don't yell nobody's young.
Your porn preference.
So there we go.
I don't shame a whole lot, but I'm shaming that.
Don't shame it. So, if
I
somebody likes it, so
You
That's
know,
therefore,
not my
hey,
problem. Shame on your house.
Don't yuck no one's yum.
mhm.
That's
no
cannibalism.
yuck, no yum, B.
I mean,
It's
he's not
cannibalism.
taking the feet
Cannibalism.
off.
Say what?
He's not taking the feet off.
Listen, he said he was tasting. That's concerning. He was
Mm,
tasting toes. Is it like a Cheeto? You just gonna bite? Like,
Nah, man, he's just a
no.
connoisseur. You
yeah,
know, you
you,
just get it on the palate.
you taste a lot of things.
Chill out.
But anyways, before I get in trouble, uh, we are gonna go ahead and talk about this last movie, Wakanda Forever. See, I didn't even do it that hour. So, where are you gonna put it? Who's gonna go first?
It's going goat for me.
Mm.
And this has more to do with script and story and the acting. Um, from top to bottom, damn near everybody in this movie acted they ass off.
Ass off.
The emotional component of the movie was absolutely flawless. The only parts of the movie that don't make sense, apparently there is actually like a 4.5 hour long kind of director's cut type deal. So all the stuff we were saying that we kind of wanted to see and the stuff that didn't make sense, there's the possibility that all of that was there, but it had to be cut to make room for other things. Because I know they said there's a scene with Namor, Shuri, and Riri. There are more scenes with Riri that answer some of the questions that we had surrounding her because she just kind of felt like she was there.
Mhm.
There's another scene with Namor and the Queen. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we were saying we wanted to see. Like there's footage of them, like you were saying you wanted to see more of Wakanda. There
Yeah.
is footage there. Like they said that stuff was there. It's just that it had to be cut.
Mm.
It was already a
So,
3 hour movie.
so what you're
It's like
Damn.
saying,
it was like 4.5 hours long.
so
God
what you're
damn.
saying is that the same way that you were saying certain things were okay because it should have been like a Disney Plus story. That's what you think this should have been. Maybe,
No.
maybe.
So remember how we were saying like you were saying like for instance you wanted more of a Okoye's journey because to you it felt like she was okay with being a civilian, and I was like no, because I don't think she actually got that far. I think she was
Mhm.
kind of heading in that direction, but she didn't actually get there. And they were saying like there are some parts that were cut had to do with Okoye after her title and rank was stripped.
Mhm.
So there is footage for that. It's just that it didn't fit with
It didn't
everything
make it.
else they had going on, so we didn't get to see it.
All right. So you say goat.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm putting it goat.
who's going next?
I'll go. I'm gonna agree with KB. I think it's goaded. Um, it's a lot of things I love about this movie. Um, you know, like just from like KB said, just about everybody in this movie acted their ass off, like ass off, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
they did an amazing job. Like I love the fact of how like M'Baku, like not only did this man like his whole not character, but like you saw how he went from who he was in the first movie to how he is in this movie. You saw him. It was scenes where you saw him in the city. He was at the council meeting calling people bald headed demons. Like you know what I'm
Bald
saying?
headed demon. You bald headed demon. I'm
Like
sorry. I've worked on it. I've been going around the
he was
house
dead.
saying it.
Like I mean, like you saw him when after is this y'all the episode y'all did was spoiler, right? It had spoilers
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. So when the queen died and he was there, just kind of checking on sure, like your brother told me watch out, kind of watch out for you, be there for you, whatever the case may be. Like it's you saw his journey going from who he was in that first movie to coming kind of full circle in this second movie. I love that. I love you saw Shuri's journey. Kind of like when on the episode we talked about before the movie came out, like she kind of I don't want to say it like that, but she kind of earned her she earned her stripes basically. She grew from basically being almost like an atheist at the beginning of the movie to just kind of discovering her, her not religion, but just discovering, kind of getting back to where she was, uh, like believing in some of the stuff like her mother was telling her, whatever the case may be. But um, it was a really really good movie for me, a really amazing movie. It's goated for me.
Sir.
Same. It's got to be goaded. Queen Ramonda was, goddamn it, the star of the show.
Man,
Namor came in with some one-liners, and he was killing white people by the dozens.
Making them jump in the water and everything.
But look, this man
he's
was
not
fucking shit up.
here.
Look, he was with the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I dug it. The only thing I wasn't fucking with was the Midnight Angels suits. Them shits was ugly, but I enjoyed everything else.
Trying to be comic book accurate, but yeah, I get you.
They ugly in the comics too, so I was okay with it.
Yeah.
I checked it out. I was
It look
like,
they got huge. With them having bald heads, it's just like all they got is forehead. Like it's just
yeah, man. They look like Knuckles.
yeah.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. It was the dialogue that made this movie for me. But it was, like we said, it was just long. And look, I don't like anything long. I don't like long church services. I don't like long funerals. And this movie started with a long funeral, bro. So by the time we got to the end, bro, I was ready to motherfucking go. I was jiggling the keys, bro. Like, no bullshit. All right, now wrap this shit up. Gotta go to work tomorrow.
You want to wrap it up buttons. Wrap it up, B.
Right.
Okay, B. You all right over there?
He said, I don't like anything long.
Come on, bro.
Pause.
Get out the gutter, man.
You said it, and I immediately was like, no.
I saw KB. KB was like, I guess so.
I went because immediately I was like, that's not surprising. And just
I'm speechless. Go on. Get your mind out the gutter, man.
Yeah, so I thought it was I'm gonna go with I thought it was good. Great. Okay, what I have in there? Great.
You got good.
Good
and goated.
Like, so I think it was like at the top tier of good to GOAT kind of status for me. But I may have to watch it again. Like, I think I liked some of the parts, but like you said, I wanted to see more Wakanda. I wanted to see more technology. I'm okay with the fact that like we were trying to show new cultures, but I just wanted more of a movie for us, and that's all right. I didn't get that, but I did get that with the Woman King. So if y'all want to see something that's blackety black, go watch the Woman King. They do the damn thing. Yeah, that's what I got that there. So I was happy.
I will say, I think one of the reasons we kind of got a little bit, they kind of balance it between Wakanda and what's the name of it? I can't think of the name of Calican. Yeah, it's because Namor is going to be kind of a big thing going forward as well. Maybe not huge, but like you're gonna get, like I think he's going to be in the Thunder. I think he's going to be in the Thunderbolts. You know, I expect not conspiracy like with Valentina knowing who he is or knowing about them. I think she's going to kind of leverage her, using her blackmail to hey, look, you either go do this or help them do this, or I tell the word about you. So it once again just thoughts or whatever. But I do think he's going to be he's going to play some roles going forward.
All right.
Shout out to Noche Huertago. I think I said his last name wrong. But shout outs to him because bro has been going feral about this whole thing. Like there was over in Mexico, there was like the whiter Hispanics that were real mad about this movie because they cast darker Hispanics. And he was like, y'all always cast us as drug dealers. You cast the dark women as whores. and prostitutes. He was like, we never get good roles, and y'all are mad because a darker skinned, Hispanic man is on the big screen now. Like, why are you mad? Like, these people literally were like, it's a campaign against us, and it should have gone for the best person for the role, and not just because he's dark. And he was like, first and foremost, I had to audition, so apparently I was the best for the role.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
Like,
had that.
he has been going off, and
As he
this man
should.
has like, he
As he
radiates
should.
golden retriever energy with such a good heart. But when he says what he needs to say, like, I support it. I'm now gonna go. I never watched Narcos, but I'm gonna go find it just to support this man.
He's in Narcos.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, good. Might have to check it out. I know they were. It was some discussion or not. Well, it was some gripes about that with the when Fox did the New Mutants movie. One of my favorite mutants is Robert DaCosta, aka Sunspot. And in the
Yeah.
comic sense, yeah, like Sunspot's that dude. But in the comic sense, Sunspot is kind of he's more of a darker skin. Um, I forget it. I think he's Costa Rican or so I forgot exactly what his nationality is exactly, but he's more of the darker skin. But in the movie, they went more on the lighter skin tone on person or whatever for the role or whatever. And people were saying something about like, hey, we kind of they wanted a more comic accurate as far as darker skin person for the role, but so
yeah.
but
Like, the like two ladies went back and forth about this on a newscast, and they were like, basically, it's reverse whitewashing, and y'all are just trying to make us look bad or something. And he was like, first and foremost,
how
he was like, name me three movies that did not star darker people in terrible roles. He was like, when you do that, then we can talk about it. But
then
until
come holler
then,
at me.
shut up. I was like,
Well,
does that sound familiar? Boy, that sounds familiar. I like this one. He can stay.
so last question. Um, what was your favorite movie? And yeah, let's just do it because I think we know what our least favorite is by this graph.
um so for me, I gotta watch it again. Um, but it's right now I'm gonna go with Shang-Chi just cause the hands that were thrown in that movie. But I gotta watch Black Panther. Like I said, but I love Wakanda Forever. But I'm gonna give Shang-Chi because I've seen Shang-Chi a few more times. So,
Yeah, I'm going Shang-Chi too, man. Because it wasn't at any point I was ready to go.
hey,
Yeah, yeah.
Mine's actually a toss up between Wakanda Forever and Multiverse of Madness, and it's again like the emotion component of it all.
mm,
Like, I don't necessarily need you to have like the best script. You don't have to have the best surprises, but when your actors act and when
yeah,
the emotion hits, like, so those are my top two.
Cool.
yeah.
Shang-Chi is a very strong, like, tied in though. Like, I
Yeah,
do love it, but
Shang-Chi
the
was
emotional part wasn't as investing for me.
Shang-Chi was definitely that movie for me. The fight scenes, the whole thing where he was just like, y'all don't hear your mama's voice. Like, I hear
Yeah.
her voice. She's calling to me. She wants me to get out, and these people are in my way. Like,
Mhm.
I try not to be a killer no more because of your mama, but now that they done pushed me, somebody got to go.
I ain't
Somebody
no
got to
killer,
go.
but don't push me.
Oh, he was a killer, and they
Oh, I
pushed
know
him.
that.
They pushed him too. So he was like, I remember the old dude had said something to the Mandarin. He was like, "You shut the hell up," and nobody was like, "Oh, don't you talk to me like that." The
Mhm.
old Archer dude. He
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you're not worth it. You're selling this ground." He's like, "You shut up. You will get this ass whooping too, old man."
Man.
So yeah, that was really funny. Kudos to that. So next week, so we did phase 4 of the movies. We're going to do phase 4 of the television series. So we're going to have something just like this. And we're going to be talking about what's going to be, goaded, what's maybe good, maybe what's meh, and what's absolute trash. So if you haven't watched all this stuff, definitely, you know, get on it. Shit, you got a week. and then we can come talk about it. But until then, we are going to be like the Hulk. We want you to smash that follow button, and we're going to love you 3000. Until then, we're going to be like the Ninja Turtles and get the shell out of here. So until next time, y'all be easy, and we'll talk to you next time. All right.